Hello, everyone. Welcome to Wingcat Sports, and it's our video after the MLB trade deadline. The Tigers being sellers at the deadline, and I know some people are upset about that, but what I said last week, you started losing, you should have expected to be a seller, not a buyer.
Right. I mean, I don't know why they're pissed off about that. I mean, we weren't going to make. I don't think the chances of us making the playoffs are very,
They were slim
very
to begin
slim
with,
to
unless
none.
you were winning.
Um, we needed to go 5-2 last week to have at least, I think, a legit shot,
Mm-hmm.
and that still would have been highly unlikely.
Yeah,
I'm glad they didn't trade Scooble
we
unless it
kept
was
Sewell.
for something really great. Um, I'm tired of it. I'm tired of getting ripped off in trades. Vila got ripped off in trades constantly. I'm tired of us not getting fair return.
No,
And if we're not going to get that, then sign Scooble. You got your ace,
yeah,
and let's be buyers this year. That's what everyone is saying. We're going to try to be buyers and get some good players, and let's see what happens.
yeah. A lot of people thought, right, that we didn't have the best trade deadline. But like I was saying, there's not much you can do with what you had. You got rid of the people you didn't really have control over next year, and you're sitting 8 games back of a wild card after you struggled to win. But if you were winning and you still kept yourself within that 5 games, you might have been buyers, but you failed to execute. Your pitching couldn't do what it could do some games, and your hitting didn't do what it could do other games, and you failed. There's nothing short to say of that. You made it so you were trading away pieces. And this we started with having to trade away Carson Kelly well before the trade deadline, and we kind of already went over that. Right, getting just a couple prospects from Texas. And then you go right back to Texas. You end up trading Andrew Chafin, one of our better relievers, out of the bullpen this year. He struggled last year. Luckily, he did well enough this year to warrant him being traded at the deadline. And we got prospects Joseph Montalvo and Chase Lee. So, I mean, you're getting younger. Most of these guys aren't going to be amazing because you're not trading super high end guys, but you're going to get younger and you're going to have the ability to build potentially uh, from your minor league systems.
Which I think is what they're trying to do. They're trying to do the way that kind of like what the Wings are doing.
Yeah, I mean, you slowly do it. And then Mark Canna's trade didn't really have too much with it. You traded Mark Canna to the Giants. You got back a relief pitcher, Eric Silva in the minors. Again, another guy that's being developed. It's probably not going to be in Toledo, but you just got a lot of young guys who you're bringing in. Okay, now you kind of have that whole little bit of first base for the rest of the day. But besides that, there isn't like too far beyond what you're dealing with. Uh, just getting younger, like we expected them to do, because that is what was likely going to happen if you were losing. And then last trade that we did at the deadline was Jack Flaherty being traded to the Dodgers. He was probably going to get traded to the Yankees, but the Yankees weren't happy with his medical records.
Mm-hmm.
So that trade fell out. We don't know who they would have gotten, but they ended up trading Jack Flaherty to the Dodgers for catcher, first baseman Theron Lorenzo and Trey Sweeney, who's a shortstop. So,
And I hear
yeah,
both those guys are good prospects. Maybe not great, but I mean, both of them, especially the catcher, is supposed to be somebody who could make the major leagues soon.
mm-hmm.
Um, so, I mean, I don't.
They said you're just getting younger. That was the idea of this deadline. You ended up failing at what you need to do to have us have more hope for a playoff push. You have now landed in the realm of being sellers, which you were. And I know a lot of people are upset about that. They think Harris got placed. The other thing is Harris wasn't really the one making these deals. A lot of people still think Harris is a GM. He's not. We hired a GM in the offseason.
Right, right.
So that's Greenberg if you're upset about these deals. Not Harris that you're going to get mad at. It's Greenberg. He's the one that is making these deals. He's the GM, not Harris.
But
So
yeah,
you can't be blaming Harris right now.
I still think Scott Harris would have to be okay with whatever he does.
Yes.
But yeah, I mean, I just you're not going to get much for these guys. What we were all excited about, thinking possibly could happen with Scooble, is getting three great prospects from Baltimore, and that didn't materialize. Probably because Baltimore was not going to give us what people were saying they were going to give us. Because if we didn't get Holiday and Mayo, it wouldn't be worth it.
Yeah. And now you're sitting with, and I realized this the other day, half your roster playing okay baseball. You're winning every now and then. You're not losing constantly like the White Sox. You have half Toledo up here winning games every now and then, and that's a good sign. I mean, your starting catch. You bring up Dingler. You have your star first baseman down in the minor still because he can't do crap. And then you got all these young guys. Your whole outfield's from Toledo besides Green. And
Right.
even when Green's not playing, it still could be a whole outfield from Toledo. You're playing well with young guys, which is what you want. They're going to develop. Very going to play good. And you might be a really good team in about 2-3 years from all these guys developing as long as they develop the right way.
Right. We're just very, very impatient. And, we don't see the progress. At least with the Wings, you do see some progress. And it's something to look forward to. We haven't seen too much of that from the Tigers.
Which is the thing.
We'll see. We'll
Yeah.
see what happens. I think people are very understandable to be critical. Why we didn't get these trades done, we don't know yet. What happened with that Baltimore hype? Was it ever on the table? Were they ever going to trade Skubal?
Probably not. I mean, there's
know.
a price for everything, but the rumor for Scuba was they would have been blown away by an offer for him to go anywhere, and they were not blown away by an offer.
What are they going to have to shell out for him to keep him?
They would have. Well, the amount of money he's going to get, he's probably going to be a top pitcher. He's probably going to make
talking 25 to 30 million.
Probably, maybe more than that. Maybe even more than that.
For how long?
Well, depending on how long he thinks, how long they want to try and keep him here, he might get a long deal. Because they like those 10-year contracts in baseball. They don't do it really in any other sport besides baseball, where they give people 10 to 12-year deals. Yeah, and they just
crazy. I don't know. Like I said, it's frustrating because I think the fans, you give somebody that, if it doesn't work out, your team's fucked. So,
and that's the thing. We gotta see where this goes. Like I said, I don't feel bad about it because it was what was going to happen. You were going to lose all these guys at the end of the year anyways, and you were failing to achieve what you needed to. So you got younger. You picked up people who might do well, but you weren't going to keep any of the guys who we traded away. They were not going to come back.
All right.
So, with all that being said, though, let us know what you think about the MLB trade deadline with what the Tigers is. Obviously, I know a lot of people aren't happy about it. Remember to like, comment, and subscribe. And until next time, hope to see everybody soon.